everyone, my name is Desola. I'm a fashion designer and you are welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Daisy's Wardrobe. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've seen my videos before and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. I'm an African-inspired ready-to-wear fashion designer based here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I've been in business for over 10 years. So here on my channel, I talk about being a fashion designer, running a fashion business, starting a clothing line, all things business, all things fashion, and sometimes, once in a while, I talk about my life. So in today's video, I'll be talking about some of the things that a lot of people don't know about being a fashion designer or running a business that involves cutting and sewing of garments. So like I said earlier, I'm an African-inspired ready-to-wear fashion designer. I make contemporary African-inspired ready-to-wear pieces and I sell my designs right here in my store. And in today's video, I'll just be talking about some of the things that a lot of people don't know about being a fashion designer. And when I say being a fashion designer, I'm talking about a fashion design career or a fashion design business. So first things first, the goal of the average fashion designer is to be successful. And success can mean different things to different people. But the average person who is a fashion designer and has a fashion design business wants to make a living and they want to have a successful business. The thing is that as you start your fashion design business, being a fashion designer, when you start your business and your business starts gaining momentum and starts making money, especially if you start making a lot of money, some people tend to look at it that, this money I'm making is always going to come. I'm always going to make this money. I have a lot of clients, I have a lot of customers buying my designs, demanding for my designs, and all that kind of stuff. So you tend to find a lot of people having to spend on other things that have nothing to do with the business. Well, unfortunately, from my own experience and my mates or my colleagues who are also fashion designers, I came to find out that, and which is actually the truth, when you start making money as a fashion designer, a lot of your money goes back into the business. If you want to have a successful fashion design business, you spend a lot of the money that you make to grow and build your business. So if at any point in time you hit it big and you make a lot of money, well, a lot of the time it depends on what vision you have for your business. A lot of this money tends to come back into the business to grow the business and work for the business. And also in the case of people that sell clothes, just like myself, like I said, I make my designs and I sell my designs in my store and I sell them online as well. There are times where you make some clothes and you have a particular design and you're like, oh, this design, well, I'm talking for people that that do ready to wear. You may think, oh, this design, once I make it, the fabric is beautiful, the design is fantastic. Once I make it, I'm going to really sell a lot of numbers of this piece. You make the design, you put it out there, and your expectations are not met. People are not buying the designs. You find people don't even like it, and even if they like it, they'll just say, it's nice. And then you're like, what? I just spent a whole lot of money making this particular design, and I'm expecting to make X, Y, and Z from this design, and it's not happening. Do you know how frustrating that is? That has happened to me so many times. The designs that you expect to be bestsellers turn out not to be bestsellers. And the ones that you least expect to be bestsellers turn out to be a bestseller. Have you ever experienced that before? Well, I have, so many times. And that's the reality of being a fashion designer. The things that you least expect to be a hit turns out to be what eventually makes you a whole lot of money. I can give you some examples of my experience, but this video will be just too long. Another thing about being a fashion designer that a lot of people don't know is that being a fashion designer, honestly, is like, there are so many things. There are so many things and so many reasons to just be discouraged. Literally discouraged. If it's not with production, it's with running the business. If it's not that, it's with, self-sabotage, thinking your designs are not good enough. If it's not that, it's one thing or the other. Being discouraged as a fashion designer is real, really, really real. It's something that I feel that a lot of people don't talk about. I have fashion designers like myself who we're friends, we're colleagues and stuff like that. And back in the days when I talk about being discouraged, everybody don't want to talk about it. Everybody like, oh no, my business is doing well, I have no reason to be discouraged, But anyway, I don't care. I have been discouraged so many times in this business. I have been discouraged so many times in being a fashion designer. I've been discouraged to the point that I can't even get up in the morning to face the day. That's how bad it was. But the thing is that you have to learn to pull yourself up every single time you find yourself in that place of discouragement. You need to look for a way to always pull yourself out of it. Because honestly, discouragement doesn't really do anything for you. And there are so many things that can make you discouraged. There are just so many things. And I feel a lot of people don't talk about it. People don't talk about discouragement in their careers or in their businesses. Everybody just likes to put up a brave face and just make people believe that, everything is all well and good. It's not always the case when you're a fashion designer. You will not always have everything work out the way you plan for it to work out. Things will not always be smooth sailing like you would want it to be. No matter how good you are as a fashion designer, no matter how fantastic your business module is, no matter how successful your business is, you would always hit bumps in the road that will make you discouraged. And you just need to look for a way to just pull yourself out of it, because it happens to literally everyone. Everyone faces some kind of discouragement at some point in time in their lives, in their businesses, and in their careers. Another thing that people don't know about being a fashion designer is that because you're a fashion designer, you're a creative, your head is always working, for the next design, for the next this and that and that. You're so focused on production, focused on manufacturing your designs, either in-house or from other factories, to make your designs for you. You're just focused on production. And it's so easy to get carried away with production that you forget that you're actually running a business. You forget about the other things that you should do for the business to run smoothly and to run successfully. One of them is pricing. So you spend all this time producing a garment or getting a garment from a manufacturer, and by the time everything is set and ready, you have no idea how much to price it. You haven't even considered the cost. And when I talk about the cost, I'm not talking about the overall cost. There are some other kind of costs that you also have to factor in when you are trying to price your garments that you have designed as a fashion designer. Even if you're not selling your designs, if you're a fashion designer that you do custom clothing, made to order or made to measure, you're so focused on what the customer wants, what the customer desires, and getting out a perfect job that you have no idea how much to charge. And that is, for me, the biggest problem. You know, a lot of fashion designers, they're so good. They have fantastic work. They do fantastic work. And when it's time to put a price to their work, they have no clue. They don't even know. I used to suffer from that. It used to be my problem. But I came to a time that I had to distance myself mentally from the production and realize that I am running a business. I did a course some years ago that put my mind in perspective and made me realize that I have to earn a living. I am running a business. I have overhead. I have this. I have that. You know, it's not just only about production. Production is important. Production is the business, but the business needs to run smoothly. The business needs to exist next month, next year, and years after. So for me, back in the day, I would design something or make something for a customer, and by the time I'm done, I don't even know how to charge the customer. And I find myself charging the customer so little that I can't even do anything. I can't do anything sensible with the money I've charged the customer. That's how bad it was. And I'm sure some people experience this. And that then now leads me to the fact that when you're a fashion designer, your work is not appreciated majority of the time. That is the truth. Majority of the time, no matter how good you are, no matter how creative you are as a fashion designer, majority of the time, your work is not appreciated. And then you now find yourself with clients or customers who don't want to pay you. You find yourself delivering very good work or very good products, very good garments, but they don't want to pay. Especially in this Nigeria where I live in, people don't like to pay for things. No matter how good it is, everybody wants a bargain. They don't want to pay. They don't like to pay. Unless you put your foot down to get your money, nobody wants to pay. Majority of people don't want to pay. When you don't put your foot down, which was me years ago, I had an issue of getting my money from people. Customers would owe me. And the painful thing was that it's not as if these customers that come to me, it's not as if they couldn't even afford to pay. They could afford to pay, but they just didn't want to pay because they don't appreciate what you've done. They don't value what you've done. So the thing is that you need to value your work. Nobody else is going to value your work for you unless you start to value your work. When you put a value to your creativity and your work, people will also value it the same way. When you don't value your work, people would not value it and they would not pay for it. So that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you found this video very helpful and I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. If you enjoyed watching my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. And so I will see you soon. Bye!